at you.
What's this? Officer Mulder throws the book at Mrs. Heuser.
Peggy O'Neill, take that, Mrs. Heuser.
And indeed does.
You missed, Officer Mulder.
Well, what now will be move 2 on the part of Mr. Heuser and Officer Mulder?
The child, you see, Mrs. Heuser, cannot be mine since our marriage has never been consummated.
Consummated, Mr. Heuser.
I think it's consummated, Mr. Heuser.
It is consummated,
thank you.
Mrs. Heuser.
Wait a minute, I have an idea. Dr. Duncan. We can go to Dr. Duncan. They're giving tests now on babies that can indicate practically everything about the baby, the sex, the color of the eyes, and everything. Perhaps we can discover if the child is yours, Mr. Heuser.
That's a mighty good bit of thinking on the part of Mrs. Heuser, and so they leave the Heuser House of Antiques, walk the streets of Pine City to the hospital, where they find Dr. Duncan in his office. And Dr. Duncan gives Mrs. Heuser a test to determine the certain qualities of the forthcoming child.
We can do so much now that we couldn't do just a scant 5 or 10 years ago, Mrs. Heuser. Now, take the following test. Give me the name of the Hun who ravaged Rome. Clint.
Wrong.
Give me the name of a typical marsupial.
Spiro Agnew.
Wrong.
I have here an isosceles triangle. How do you find the area of that triangle?
You look it up in the yellow pages.
Wrong.
All right, now I know a lot about that child. It's going to be a boy.